Hello patron and welcome back to my life. It's Writer Wednesday where I give you my tips on the art and the business of writing and tell you how I do what I do as an indie author. So as you're watching this video, I've officially started production on my next new book, Yeren, the 6th book in the Nightblade epic. I'm in the very earliest outlining stage of the book. I've barely done anything more than just think about it, but still, once I get going, I tend to write books pretty fast. So that means in not too much time, I'll be putting my book through the post-production process. And one of the first things that I do with my books, once they've gone through a couple of drafts, is I have them read by my beta readers. Now, my beta readers have been different every time. Sometimes some of them aren't available, sometimes I pick up new ones, sometimes I get rid of old ones. I carefully curate and cultivate the list because it takes a lot to hunt down people who will tell you what needs to be fixed in your book. This is a hard truth that I've had to learn over and over again. Your beta readers should not enjoy your book. This does not mean they never will, or the entire thing should always be a slog to get through, but by and large, your beta readers should not enjoy the process of reading your book. That's why they're beta readers. If you put out your book for initial feedback and only hear positive things, people are probably softening the blow of what the actual experience was like reading your book. Either that, or your beta reading pool is made up entirely of not very critical, not very discerning readers, and either one of those two things is really bad for your author career. I've seen both sides of this. I have seen from both angles people who beta read a book and then give what critique they feel like they can safely give the person without, crushing their ego. And then I've also seen people who have an audience of beta or advanced readers who just love them and love everything that they do and wouldn't change a thing. Okay, yeah, you do want to write for your audience, so you do want to make sure that people who like your books in general like the new book that you're writing, but you don't want to just have people in your audience who are like, I love everything that you do. They're not helping you. They're not helping you grow as a writer. They're not helping you attract new readers who maybe wouldn't have liked your early stuff, but like this new direction, this new growth, this higher skill you've achieved as an author. So either way, if your entire beta reading pool has nothing very negative to say about your book, something is wrong. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody who hates your book is automatically right either, but our books are not perfect. They always have huge flaws. They often go to print still having flaws that for one reason or another, we just can't get rid of, and we fix the book as best we can and put it out. And this is very much true with traditionally published books. But what you need when you are editing your book is a pool of readers who will tell you what those flaws are so that you can do your best. You can make your best effort to make the book as good as it can possibly be. But if you're working on your first book, or you're working on your 8th book or 10th book, but none of your previous books have ever sold very well, and you're just not quite making it as an author, you've got to find someone and beg them to tell you what you're doing wrong. And if your ego can take it, you've got to resist the urge to ask them. Be honest, but be kind, because so many people, probably the majority of people, would rather be kind than honest. I find it so valuable when I can see the frustration in the comments coming back from my beta readers, because at that point I know I'm getting the unvarnished truth, and if there is something wrong, they're definitely going to tell me about it. It's not that I try to frustrate them, you understand, but I accidentally do, more often than not, and I want to know when it happens. And listen, you might think, oh, well, I think my beta readers are being honest, and maybe there just isn't that much wrong with my book. But there is! And you're not doing yourself or your future readers any big favors by not discovering what those things are. Listen, go back and read the letters exchanged by C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien while they were writing The Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings, respectively. They were not kind to each other. And they were writing two of the biggest book series of all time. Their very first drafts were better than most of the published work that comes out today. And they wrote letters to each other absolutely excoriating each other's writing. C.S. Lewis had so many nasty things to say about The Lord of the Rings. But as Tolkien put it, whenever Lewis would say, "You can do better than this," he would sit down and he would try. And it's very probable that the two of them were such good friends because they both loved each other's writing but saw the potential for how it could be so much better. They recognized potential in each other, but they were also willing to say, yo, you're shitting on your potential. Stop sucking. And that is what you've got to find in your beta readers. People who see the potential but who also see the ways in which you are suppressing that potential. How to find them can be a pain in the butt, but I will say that your best beta readers will almost certainly be writers themselves. My best beta readers are definitely writers, and again, look at Lewis and Tolkien. So spend time in writer communities and find somebody else who you jive with, who you like, who you will be willing to read their work and exchange, you know? My beta readers, if they ever need beta readers, I am there for them. I will absolutely do that. I have no time to do that, but I will, because holy cow, they've made my books good. And yes, good editors will also help fine-tune and craft your story, but each editor, even if you use multiple editors, each editor is only one more perspective. And with a pool of beta readers with varied and diverse backgrounds who care about different things, who have different subjects and fields of knowledge, each one of them doesn't just add to the quality of your work, it multiplies it. So that the more you have, the more really skilled, qualified, technical people you have reading your books for that extra level of quality, it's like every single one makes it just exponentially better and better and better. All right, that is it for today, patron. If you have something you want me to talk about on Writer Wednesday, please let me know in the comments. My schedule is open, so your topic could be the thing I talk about next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!